What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a weird movie you probably never thought I would review. I never thought I would review it, and that is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Why am I reviewing this, you ask? Well, it's pretty simple. Crystal Bloodborne, if you remember, gave me a Switch months ago to review Immortal. He also gave me Smash Brothers to review this movie, so I'm obligated to do so. So I hope you like this Crystal Bloodborne, and I hope you have a good birthday in your quarantine. I have to say, I am not a very big Terry Gilliam fan. I don't necessarily hate his movies, but I'm not fond of them. Some of them are fine, such as Monty Python the Holy Grail and Fear and Loathing Las Vegas, while others I find to be trying too hard to be sophisticated, as is the case with 12 Monkeys, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, and Brazil. The Brothers Grimm and Jabberwocky just exist to me. I like them, they're just not movies I feel the need to ever watch again. Thus, I was very reluctant to review this, but since it is a pseudo-Patreon request, I have no choice. Let's dive into what I expect to be a piece of nonsense cinema based on the tall tales of Baron Munchausen and see if I can make any sense of it. The film kicks off with a bunch of explosions as a city during the late 18th century is under attack by an army of Turks. That night, a play about the wacky adventures of a man named Baron Munchausen is being performed to entertain the citizens during the siege, which does have the crowd riled up in laughter.
Set sail!
The waves! The waves!
Oh, bugger!
Yeah, okay, that is pretty funny. As is this scene here.
Can you just tell me why it says Henry Salt and Fun on your daughter?
Should never have taught you to read.
Shortly into it, a man stumbles into the theater, calling it rubbish and proclaiming himself to be the actual Baron Munchausen, played by John Neville.
This blackguard's an imposter. I am the Baron Munchausen, and I won't be made a fool of.
He openly admits the war with the Turks is because of him, and begins to tell his tale as to what started the war. The movie then shifts from the stage of the play and into a real-world setting of Munchausen with the Sultan inside of his harem. There, he challenges the Sultan to a duel.
What do you wager that I won't procure for you within the hour a bottle of Toku from the Imperial cellar at Vienna? If I don't succeed, you may cut off my head.
And if you succeed, you may take from my treasury as much treasure as the strongest man can carry.
We meet Munchausen's servants. Bertold, a man who can run very fast in the most cartoonish manner possible. An expert marksman by the name of Adolphus. Elbrecht, who is apparently one of the strongest men on the planet. And Gustavus, a dwarf who can blow his enemies away. They are played by Eric Idle, who Transformer fans should know, Charles McKeon, Winston Dennis, and Jack Purvis. Anyway, Bertold is sent to Vienna to acquire the wine Munchausen told the Sultan about. While they wait for his return, the Sultan performs a little show for Munchausen as they prepare to take his head.
Where the hell's Berthold?
Dunno. I thought it was with you.
Well, if he's not here in 3.5 minutes, the Sultan is going to cut off my head.
After having to be woken up, Berthold returns just in the nick of time. Literally.
Not late, am I?
As per their agreement, the Sultan allows Munchausen to take as much treasure as one man can hold, which ends up being everything thanks to Albrecht's mighty strength.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
This revelation sends the Sultan into a vicious rage, ordering his army to kill Munchausen and his friends.
Decapitation!
We are taken back to the play as Munchausen's story is interrupted as the city is under attack once more, causing everyone to flee in panic. The daughter to the playwright, Sally, gets pissed off at the Turks for disrupting their play and tries to scream at them from afar. This leads to an antic of Munchausen getting himself launched into the sky and bombing a platoon of soldiers before hitching a ride on another cannonball back. What? 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 Munchausen takes Sally back to the theater trope and has the girls attracted to him use their clothes to build him a hot air balloon so that he may retrieve his friends and bring an end to the war. He lifts off, leaving the city, only to discover that Sally has stowed away on his ship, forcing him to take her with him. The first destination is to the moon.
You know about the detachable heads, don't you? Their heads go off for intellectual pursuits, while their bodies engage in more bodily activities. Trouble is, their heads and bodies don't always see eye to eye.
They encounter the king, played by the legendary Robin Williams.
Since you were last here, I, that is my head, that which is left of me, where the brilliant and important parts are located, is now ruling and governing the known universe.
The king is pissed off at Munchausen for flirting with his wife last time he was there, and as such imprisons the duo.
In the name of the moon, I'll punish you!
They find Berthold in their prison and, with the help of the queen, escape.
Come on, quickly! I'm aboard! Give me your hand!
The king tries to stop them with a three-headed monster. He fails and is defeated.
The body is dead, long live the head, it's finished, finito!
Next, as they try to leave the moon, they get caught in Earth's gravitational pull and land back on Earth inside of a volcano belonging to the Roman god Vulcan. For those who know Greek mythology, that is Hephaestus.
In the old days, the stuff used to get paid on the dot every 1,000 years. This not expect them every century. It's outrageous.
There, Munchausen discovers Ulbrich, who has been serving Vulcan for years.
I haven't got the treasure anymore. I spent it. I gave it all to charity.
At first, he is reluctant to rejoin them, but an incident between Munchausen and Vulcan's wife Venus caused all of them to be tossed out of the volcano and they end up in the South Seas.
Is if we've been dropped through the center of the world and come out on the other side, somewhere in the South Seas.
Miles away!
This in turn leads them to being eaten by a giant sea monster, which just happens to be where Gustavus and Adolphus are located, for they and a bunch of others were also devoured by the creature, as was his horse. Munchausen makes the monster sneeze, flinging them out of its belly, and they head back to the city to take on the Turks.
I'll never eat fish again.
Munchausen finds his men unwilling to fight, so he surrenders himself to the Sultan in order to stop the war.
If you are still interested in my head, it's yours. I'm tired of it.
He is seconds away from being executed when his men save him, causing a big battle to ensue. Berthold manages to save Munchausen, only for Munchausen to proclaim him as being lazy.
Damn it, man, make yourself useful. I can't do everything.
In time, the Sultan is defeated. A celebration occurs within the city, which ends abruptly. He is lowered into the ground, only to reveal that everything that has been happening for the last 2 hours has been nothing more than a story. Or is it?
And from that time forth, everyone who had a talent for it lived happily ever after.
He takes everyone outside of the city to see the remains of the Turk army. Munchausen rides off. Bringing an end to the film, and I have to say, this was really good. The only bit that was a tad confusing was the last scene of the movie, but beyond that, I have no complaints. The characters were all engaging, the tale was intriguing to watch, and there was a lot of creative ideas to never bore the audience. Granted, the movie is a slow start, however, once the ball got rolling, the movie kept on moving with only a few hiccups along the way. My favorite section is easily the bit on the moon. It's a shame we didn't have a spin-off tale that focused solely on the Moon Kingdom, as I'm sure it would have been ahead of the curve. I adore the concept of the king and queen having two different personalities depending on whether their heads are attached or not. It was fun, not to mention the three-headed monster the king rode on was frickin' badass. The production team did an outstanding job on the effects work for that sequence. In fact, all of the effects work for this movie was top-notch. Clearly, everyone working on the film loved what they were doing and put all of their hard work into it. Another favorite scene of mine, which I did not bring up in my recap, includes a scene between Jonathan Pryce's Mayor Jackson and the Sultan. After Munchausen has decided to surrender to the Turks, he is taken to the Sultan's tent where he finds Jackson and the Sultan discussing terms of surrender, arguing over which side is going to surrender on Friday.
You surrender?
With respect, Sultan, we've been through all this. You surrender.
But we're winning.
We surrendered last time.
It's pretty hilarious, and yet feels like something political leaders would actually do.
Too true. Too true.
My favorite of Munchausen's buddies is easily Bertold. Watching his initial appearance when he has balls and chains around his ankles only to take them off, learning they are used to keep him from running away, is brilliant. What is even funnier is the scene when he is taking so long to return, Munchausen has his men check on him, only for them to discover he decided to take a nap on his way back. That sounds like something an arrogant speedster would do. Michael Kamen scored the film, and while the music is good, I can't say it left an impact on me. I cannot remember a single track from the movie.
You look for him! Nowhere to run to! Nowhere to hide for you, Baron! What are you looking at? Look down there, that's it, hey!
Usually his scores leave me with one piece of music that's stuck in my head for a few days. Or in the case of X-Men, years. Initially, I was planning to call the film out for how convenient it was that every place Munchausen and Sally visited just happened to be where they needed to be. But that changed once everything is revealed to be a story. That was a clever twist I did not see coming, and while I do wish it had been executed a tad better, as it did break the immersion for me for a moment, it makes sense. Or did it happen? Overall, I've really gotta hand it to Gilliam on this one, as it really did live up to its reputation. I highly enjoyed it and would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to check it out, as it's worth a one-time viewing, if not more. I probably will end up rewatching this one again at some point. Until next time, bye.